Hey friends, welcome back to Big Nate's Whiskey Lounge. I am Nate. I'm thrilled to have you along for another video. This is just an opinion video. This is going to be 5 whiskeys to avoid. And these are because I do not enjoy them. These are not necessarily saying that you won't. Actually, I've seen some comments of some people on social media that some of these are they really like these. However, I was not a big fan. One of them in particular I liked when I first had it, the first couple times, and then for some reason as it's sat, it just not a fan. All right, so this is actually going to be 6 whiskeys. I did 5, but I'm going to have one. I'm going to start with my kind of 5B, I guess. So this is going to be High West Bourye. I'm disappointed in the fact that I have to put this on this list. If you watched my last video on Friday, which was the 5 ryes video, I had 2 ryes in there, the double rye and the Midwinter Night's Dram. I really like High West, and I said that I like almost everything that High West does. Unfortunately, this is the one that gets me. Their Bourye, I'm just not a huge fan of. This is going to be a 19 batch 19 L06, and it's a blend of bourbon and a blend of rye, blend of bourbons and ryes. Now here's the thing: High West also puts out an old fashioned, which is basically the same concept. It's a Bourye to an extent. It's a blend of bourbon, rye, the ingredients, bitters, simple syrup, and then they age it in a rye barrel. But for some reason, that is really good to me. I'm just not a fan of this. I'm shooting today, Monday, what's today, May 9th. And I actually brought this into my cigar lounge on Saturday night, the 7th, with the intent of trying it because I want to like it. I did not like it the first time I had it, and I brought it in and I had some again, and I shared it with 2 other guys. My buddy Connor thought the same thing I did, didn't like it. My buddy Kyle actually did kind of like it. For me, it's just on the nose, it's very metallic grapey, and I don't know why it's grapey. Now, it does come off as classic MGP. So Connor and I agree that it is MGP, which we like. We like the American Prairie. We like the Double Rye. We are both High West super fans. But for some reason, this Bourye just misses it. It's very metallic, and it's not high proof. It's only 46% ABV. But it's very metallic and sharp, and it just kept the grapiness just kept kind of just was weird. So Buffalo Trace tends to be a little grapey. The most intense that I get the grapiness from Buffalo Trace is on E.H. Taylor Single Barrel, but that is like eating a Concord grape with the peel on it. This was, and the smell of it. This, we started with grape, but then we got like artificial grape, like almost if Hostess made those fruit pies that they do, the cherry and the apple, almost if they made a grape version of one. And then it almost turned into, there was this dinosaur bubble bath that I used as a kid that smelled like this. This smells like that to me. So it's just very weird, very off-putting, and I'm disappointed in myself. Now this is batch 19, so the reason why I'm putting this as a possibility is simply because you might like it, and you might have a batch that's really good. The bourbon junkies like the Bourye. I've also not tried Son of Bourye, so maybe I would like that as well. I'm open to giving this another shot at some point. That's why I'm not throwing it off the list. I'm just not chucking it off a cliff. So that's going to be my 6th, I guess. Number 5 is going to be actually an Irish whiskey. This is Teeling Small Batch. It's just weird to me. Now, it's finished in rum cask, so that might be why it throws me off. I just smell it. Yeah, there's just a weird... It's just not what I'm used to in an Irish whiskey, and because of that, I'm just not a fan. It's funky like an Irish whiskey, and small batch doesn't mean anything in Ireland, so I don't really know what to make of that. So this is just a no for me. I haven't drank a whole ton of it. I drank probably 2, maybe 3 grams of it. Just not for me. I know that they've won some really good awards, but there's a caveat with that. When they win awards, they're actually sending a specific whiskey that they made for the competition, and unfortunately it's probably something the public is never ever going to see. So it's a little bit, it's kind of like, okay, you want a competition, but great. But I know that they have some other stuff on the shelves that people really like. So also like the High West, I'm willing to give Teeling another shot with maybe a different offering. Number 4 is going to be Noah's Mill Bourbon. Now this comes in at 57.15% ABV. Now what's interesting is that it says that it's aged until fully matured. So we don't know how old it is, at least I don't. And it doesn't say whether or not it's cask strength or not. Based on the writing on the bottle, I would say it's not, because they would probably want to advertise that. But this comes in, this is by Willet. This is a Willet offering. And I like Willet. I don't like this though. It's funky chocolate. It's almost like if you shaved, it's like chocolate shavings that started to rot. And I had my first pour of this was a couple years ago. My brother and I had it at a brewery, actually that's right around the corner from me. And we really, really liked it. My first time opening this bottle, I liked it. And as I've gotten into it, it just keeps disappointing me. And I just, the last time I drank it was one of the Matt Madnesses. I believe it was one of the beginnings of this 2022. And I couldn't focus on Matt Madness because I was so frustrated by what was in my glass. Now, I know people love Noah's Mill. So, again, that's why I want to say this is an opinionated video. This is not law. I'm not saying that this is bad. I'm just saying I don't like this. This will take a while to finish, and I'll probably never buy one again. And because of it, it shies me away from Rowan's Creek as well as Willet Pot Still. Number 3 on the list is going to be Orphan Barrel Copper Tongue. Now, I shot a video of this earlier this year. Go and give that a watch. I actually don't hate this bottle anymore. When I first bought it, I thought it was one of the worst things I've ever had in my life. Since it opened up, I actually do not hate it anymore. The smell is it's just a little weird. So I don't hate it anymore taste-wise. What I'm going to hate on it is what it is. Orphan Barrel has a really good reputation of doing some really good blends. So I'm not trying to shy you away from the name Orphan Barrel. I'm just trying to shy you away from this specific offering. I paid $150 for this, which I think is more than what a lot of other people paid. But Orphan Barrel tends to be a little bit expensive. Muckety Muck, which is a Scotch, is like $250 in my area. So like, and then do some research on the other Orphan Barrel offerings. There are some really good ones out there. But this particular one is just disappointing. And part of the reason why it is because it is 16-year-old cask strength bourbon whiskey, 89.8 proof. And it's Tennessee whiskey. It's a 16-year-old barrel proof Dickel at under 90 proof. I got nothing more to say. Number 2 on our list is going to be Balcones Texas Rye. Now, this is 100 proof. This is rye. And I actually have a buddy of mine in my area. We've actually never met in person. I met him through Facebook and realized through the Whiskey Tribe Facebook channel and realized he lives like 20 minutes away from me, but we just haven't been able to hook up. He's a pipe smoker. And this is one of his go-to bottles for when he's smoking a pipe. For me, I just can't do it. It's young, so it says that it's aged. Does it give an age statement on it for the rye? Apologize. It does not. Oh, it does. 15 months in oak. For me, Balcones, I've just never been able to get on board with. I actually kind of like Brimstone. Which it's corn whiskey. So that's the thing, is that it's a little bit different. It's also Texas. Texas ages differently. So the baby blue is like 6 months old or something like that. That's no bueno. But I'm not putting that on. I'm just doing one Balcones for this list. But this I really am not a fan of. Really, 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 really not a fan of. But I know people that are. So that's what I'm saying. Opinion, you check out for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Just find out for yourself. So Balcones, Texas Rye, 100 proof. Not a fan. Last but not least is actually what I would consider to be a gag whiskey. Pun partly intended. So this whiskey is something that I bought with the specific purpose of kind of being a prank on people. I will give it to somebody, not tell them what it is, and wait for their reaction. I did this to my brother the other day, but I did tell him beforehand. I was like, hey, you want to try one of the worst whiskeys I've ever had? So he already went into it thinking it was bad, and he reacted accordingly. I bought this. It's more expensive than what I wish it would be for a gag whiskey. I bought this when I was in Michigan because it is Michigan. At the time, it was Michigan exclusive. And I bought it because the Shelf Turds had this, now whiskeychannel.com. I bought this because they were giving this as samples to people, and they were just saying that it was horrible. When I was in Michigan, I messaged David and asked him where he got it, and he's like, it's basically everywhere. So I bought a bottle. It's $50, and this is Johnny Smoking Gun. It actually looks like it's getting a little bit cloudy. This is just awful. No, so they call it Badlands whiskey. So it's not even a bourbon. It's not a rye. There's nothing on it about the mash bill. It's 87 proof. Really, really cool looking bottle. And it's just no. Little fiddly bit on the back end. So they got a lot going for them marketing wise. It's a $50 bottle, and it's not good. It is not good. So if any of the 6 that are on this list are just an absolute do not do, this is my do not do. These other 5 are I don't like, might want to avoid them, but you do your own thing. This, let me save you the time and not. Quite frankly, if you really want to try it, hit me up in the comments, and I might be able to hand deliver you a sample if you really, really, really want to try it. But don't spend $50 on a bottle. So that's going to do it for my 5 whiskeys, technically 6 whiskeys to avoid. I'm Nate. Appreciate you sticking around. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next time.